Well, we're still in hangover mode in terms of the celebration that's occurred since Thursday. For those of you who watched the Toronto Raptors parade this morning, it's really quite the scene. Not as much to celebrate locally, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm never a good parade guy.
Yeah?
Too short. I'm kind of like the short kid at the parade. Can't see anything. You can just see heads. That's all.
Perhaps you should take over Kurt Price's spot with the Colonial Days parade this year.
No, I don't think so. I'm good.
No?
I'm good.
Okay, well, we know for sure that who won't be involved with the parade then. We're going to start on a slightly negative note locally with the Lloydminster Extreme. They had a tough outing this weekend, losing to the Warriors and then to the Titans from Sherwood Park. That was a tougher matchup, a controversial one with their head coach Graham Murray being ejected. And those two losses now make it a little tough for them to secure a higher seed in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it got nasty against them. And there were some questionable calls on in the game that Graham got questioned the referee with, and Graham gets the kick out. Yeah, you know what? They're the defending provincial champions, and anytime you're the defending provincial champions, you're going to have a big target on your back every night. So that's probably played a factor this year.
It certainly has. And then there's also the fact that they're a different team than they were last year. Last year, a lot of size, and really won in part thanks to how good their goaltending was late in the year to support their goal scoring.
But Petrie's looked good this year too.
And Petrie played well even in the loss against the Titans. But the issue that they're facing once again is because they're not as big a team, they're really reliant on their speed and their skill. And their guys are skilled enough to go at teams one-on-one and score goals one-on-one. But when you get against a good team like Sherwood Park or like Cold Lake, who it was inevitable they'll face in the playoffs, that's going to be more than skill involved to beat that team. That's going to be pick and roll, motion offense, something they didn't get done against the Titans.
Yeah, and so now it's kind of an uphill climb. They have to get some wins together and put back-to-back wins to get a good run here to go to the playoffs.
Yeah. Right now they're separated. A win separates them from their competition below on the playoff standings in the North Division. We'll follow that over the next couple of weeks as we head in. It's right around the corner already for playoff lacrosse coming up here. We did have chuck wagon racing, thankfully, this weekend. A little bit of rain in Alberta, but not enough to take things down. And as a result, Brad McMahon, another great night, but he doesn't win as Todd Baptiste takes home the Dewberry Show.
Yeah, Todd Baptiste wins back-to-back day money. He's split day money on Sunday with Chris Smalley, but gives him the show title in Dewberry on the weekends, continues to lead the driver's point standings, and now they head to a really short track in Wainwright. Todd's outfits are running well. It doesn't matter what barrel he's on. They're running very well. It bodes well for him, hopefully in Wainwright, and more than anything, bodes well for him in about 3 weeks' time as he hits the big track at the Calgary Stampede.
As do several other CPCA drivers that will take part. Also interesting to note that Chris Smalley had the second best overall time. Unfortunately, it wasn't his point wagon.
Yeah, it doesn't help him in the driver's standings. You can still win a show with your non-point wagon. So Chris Smalley's got to be happy and that shows you your depth because Chris Smalley has two wagons. He has his point wagon, his non-point wagon. His non-point wagon goes earlier in the show. So good indication that if you're going to call upon some horses, and you're going to need a lot of horses as you go for 3 months in the CPCA Pro Tour, good indication that Chris is going to be really happy with what he has in his barn right now.
And just a few seconds to touch on the WPCAC winner in Medicine Hat, Kurt Bensmiller. Many folks know Chance Bensmiller's older brother wins that show, and that's got to bode well for him heading into the Stampede.
Yeah, he's the reigning Calgary Stampede champion. They're 3 weeks away, as we mentioned. Wins Medicine Hat, is leading the world standings, so good indication that Mr. Bensmiller is ready to defend his title in Calgary.
And don't forget, we also have the Wainwright Show before we get to Calgary. But first, a short break on Primetime Local News.